going to dive into the Milani brand and do a full review on the 11 products that I purchased from them, and we're going to test them out and create this look. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. You can click that button right down below. And while you're down there, guys, and this is also for my current subscribers, go ahead and click that notification bell so you guys can know when I upload any new content. Also, if you like brand reviews, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. So as you can see in the intro of this video, we are going to be looking into the Milani brand. This is a brand I kind of wanted to look into more because I loved using their products in high school. I always felt like they were like a little more unique and more fun than the rest of the drugstore makeup out there. Unfortunately, my local drugstore stopped carrying Milani Cosmetics, so I kind of strayed from that brand and started going into the other more common drugstore brands. Fortunately though, Ulta picked up Milani, is now selling Milani products, I think towards the end of 2017. So right around winter time, I stocked up on a bunch of these Milani products, and I've been testing them out actually for a few months now. There are some products, honestly, that I loathe, but there's actually one product that made it to my Makeup Hall of Fame list. So just a little background on the Milani brand. Milani was established in 2002, and I didn't know this, but they actually were inspired by the city Milan, Italy, hence the brand name Milani. This brand is actually sold in several countries, and they pride themselves in being multicultural, and they offer this makeup to women of all ethnicities. Something they strive to in their makeup brand is uniqueness. They try to bring different textures, different color, pigment, and I have noticed they do stand out among the other drugstore brands as being unique. I mean, even the fact like their blushes, they have that pretty rose shape to them. They have a bunch of new cool lip toppers out. Okay guys, but enough with the intro, let's get into this look. Alright guys, so we are starting with the completely blank canvas today. I have a total of 11 Milani products we'll be using and testing today. And first up is the Prime Light Strobing and Pore Minimizing Face Primer. This retails for $9.99 and it has a 3.5 star rating and also is made in the USA. Alright guys, so I am not a huge fan of this primer. I was like super excited when I saw it because I was thinking like pore minimizer and also like makes your face look glowy and radiant. I thought I could get the best of both worlds with this primer, but that is not the case. When I first squeezed out the product on my hand, I was not impressed. Honestly, it looks like a bunch of glitter paste. I'm going to show you guys a swatch of this before I even use it. Honestly, I know you can't see it very close up on camera, but there are a bunch of tiny little pieces of glitter on here that it didn't really feel like I was even priming my face. Like I just felt like I was smearing glitter on my face. It didn't work as a primer at all. I felt like when I used this as a primer that my foundation was separating throughout the day. I don't know though guys, I did look up some reviews on Ulta and there's some people that loved it and then there were other people that absolutely hated it. It was either one or the other, and it's mostly depending on if you had dry skin or oily skin. I have oily skin, well kind of a combination, but mostly oily I would say. So this did not sit well with me. Not a huge fan, but anyways, I am going to go ahead and put this on my face because we're going to do a full face today on camera. So you can see my face is looking a little shiny now, a little more glowy. Unfortunately, this was my least favorite product from the brand and I'm gonna rate it a 1. I did not get any brow product by Milani, so I'm gonna step off camera and go ahead and fill in my brows and I'll be right back. So next up is the Milani Secret Cover Concealer in shade Natural Beige. So not only did this guy cost only $6, but it also has a 4.5 star rating and also it is made in the USA. I feel like this is a pretty thick product and it conceals very well, which is great for me because as you guys can see, I am struggling with acne right now. The only issue I run into occasionally is because I apply my concealer first, sometimes when I apply my foundation over top, the concealer may rub off. So with that said, I rate this a 7. And now I'll go ahead and apply the concealer. So guys, I actually just started applying concealer with a brush. I would always use my beauty blender, but I feel like this way it goes on a lot more opaque and it really conceals. I am having some really bad texture issues down here. Oh, I don't know why my skin is so bad lately. Obviously, I normally do not use this much concealer, but because I am so struggling with acne lately, I kind of have to. I'm going to use this concealer as well to kind of cut out the brows. Okay guys, so now that half of my face is concealed, I'm going to move on to foundation. The foundation I'll be using is called Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. This has a 3.5-star rating and is made in the USA. I was super excited when I saw this was a foundation and concealer in one. I thought that would cut down my makeup application a lot, like in the mornings when I'm getting ready for work. However, because I'm breaking out so bad, like I feel like one application of this is not enough. Another reason I was really excited to use this is because Tati actually labeled this her ride or die foundation. I don't know if you guys have heard of Tati Westbrook, the beauty guru. She's on YouTube, she's very popular. Jaclyn Hill has also tried out this foundation and had positive things to say as well. And guys, I really wish that I could say positive things as well, but I was so disappointed in this product. Again, I think it's just because I have oily skin and both Tati and Jaclyn have dry skin. And I'll tell you guys right now, the biggest negative about this product was the fact that it made me break out so bad. I think that is part of the reason I'm breaking out so bad right now. There's two reasons I think that could be the culprit for why this foundation breaks me out. Number one, the second ingredient is silicone, and I try to get silicone-free face products like foundation and concealer because silicone actually clogs your pores, which is good for some people with dry skin because it can actually keep your moisture in your skin. But for people who already have lots of oil and their pores are always clogged and then your skin can't breathe when you have the silicone all over your face. The second reason is because it smells pretty strong and it's like a perfumey smell. I'm not a fan of the scent, and I definitely think that could be helping with the breaking out. This foundation also, after you apply it, for me it feels very cakey and just like heavy. I actually did do a foundation wear test with the Milani 2-in-1 foundation. I felt that it actually lasted decently like halfway throughout the day, but by the end of an 8-hour work shift, I was like screaming to get the foundation off my face. Like, and the thing is too, is I didn't even like try to absorb any of the oil because I wanted an honest upfront review for you guys. And while this says it does conceal and perfect, it does well at hiding discolorations like redness from acne, but it does not conceal texture and bumpiness, and it just doesn't really smooth out my skin like some other foundations will do on top of hiding those discolorations. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that foundation wear test clip. Hey guys, so I'm wearing the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation, and I'm also using the Milani concealer underneath. So this is my before shot. I've been wearing this foundation for like 4.5 hours, and I just checked it out in the mirror, and I do feel like it's actually lasting pretty well. I'm noticing a little bit of separation like right here, like where I like smile and like stretch my skin, but I don't think it's like looking too like oily or cakey. It's definitely a high coverage foundation, but at the same time I don't think it's as high of a quality of coverage. Like, I still feel like there's like some texture issues, and it feels kind of cakey, even though I don't think it necessarily looks cakey. But I am impressed with how it's holding up with it being halfway through the day. Hey guys, so I finally made it through my 8-hour work shift, and I just checked out my makeup in the mirror, and I am like disturbed by how bad it looks. Like, the fact that I was actually in front of people looking this bad. It definitely, like, for a few hours it holds up well, but after like a long day my makeup looks like crap. I feel like it looks extremely oily, especially like in my T-zone. And so it's like really oily right here, and then it's like separating right here. It just looks so gross. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit. I'll be rating this a 1 alongside that primer that I did not like as well. Oh guys, my skin looks so bad. Like, I seriously feel like getting emotional right now. My texture is horrible. Oh, I feel like my scarring looks worse than normal. I usually don't put on my makeup with a huge ring light in front of me too, so that is really showing all my imperfections as well. Okay guys, so I know you're thinking that my face looks like white right now, and you would be right. It's because I bought this foundation towards the end of the winter when I was extremely pale. So I will be using a darker foundation powder to go over top to make it match the rest of my skin a little more. This primer and foundation combination is like murder for someone with oily skin. Alright, so I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Oh, wow, my face looks so weird on camera right now. Okay, so we're gonna try and make this look 10 times better. We're gonna put on the Laura Geller New York, the Baked Balance and Brighten Light Foundation Powder, which is actually pretty dark looking for being labeled light. So I wanna show you guys a close-up of how poorly this foundation is covering my face. Like, if you struggle with acne like me, you have oily skin, textury skin, I'm telling you, do not go anywhere near this foundation. Okay guys, thank goodness we're past the worst part of the Milani Cosmetics. Moving forward, I honestly do like the rest of these products. So next on the list is the Bronzer Extra Large in Bronze Glow. You can see the lighter shade over there. I've made a very large dent in it. I've been using this all the time. So this bronzer is only 10 bucks and this one was made in Italy. This has a 4.5 star rating. So the directions on the back, when it says how to use, it says sweep bronzer left side, that would be the darker side, all over the face and body to create instant radiance, then lightly dust shimmer powder the right side for an added glow. I'm going to tell you right now, I only use the right side as my bronzer. Like, this side is too dark on my skin, and this overall, this palette, whatever you want to call it, was the latest they had available. So I'm going to use this shade over here to contour my cheeks. So I think one of my favorite things about this product is the fact that there is so much product and it's only $10. I've been using this since the winter and I still haven't even hit pan yet. So I feel like that gives like a really nice natural looking contour. And the fact that there is a little bit of like a shimmer in here kind of gives you more of like a glowy summer look. In addition, I actually do dip over here in the dark side a little bit whenever I do my forehead because I feel like I can go a little darker up here. So I definitely feel like that bronzer helped warm up my face some. And by the way guys, I give this guy a 10. He's actually going on my Hall of Fame makeup list. I'm actually going to highlight under my eyes here this Ofra banana powder. I love me some banana powder. Next guys is the Strobe Light Instant Glow Highlighter Powder. You can see this is looking a little messy right now. This actually fell off my makeup shelf and a lot of the powder actually came out and I had to like press it back in. So it didn't look like it did when I purchased it originally. So this product as well was made in Italy and it has a 5-star review. So this is one of the best reviewed products by Milani. And their highlighters definitely do get a lot of attention. This retails for $10. I got the shade Afterglow. This is like a nice champagne-y shade and it goes on very natural. Unfortunately, I haven't really been into highlighting lately because I am struggling with texture issues. As you guys can see, this looks super shimmery but natural at the same time. I'm going to rate this one an 8. And I'm going to throw on some NARS blush really quick. I didn't get any Milani blush, even though their blush looks really pretty, like it's like shaped in roses. But I have so much blush that I need to use. I just felt like I couldn't get myself to spend money on another blush. Okay guys, so most of our face is done. So now we're moving on to eyeshadow. And here's the 2 palettes that I have. We're gonna talk about this one first. This is called the Everyday Eyes Matte Eyeshadow Collection. And these retail for $10.99. This is the must-have neutrals. I think there's a bunch of different eyeshadow palettes with this collection, but I chose just a neutral set that I could wear to work every day. This has a 4.5 star rating and it was made in the USA. This also has a guide on the back, which I love. This really helped me out in the mornings instead of thinking what type of look I wanted to come up with. I just followed these instructions and I came up with a pretty decent look. So here are the shades swatched. So we actually are not going to use this eyeshadow palette in today's look. I'm going to use the new Gilded Desires eyeshadow palette that actually just recently came out. But I do want to touch on a few points on this palette that you guys will know about when thinking about purchasing this. Honestly, with all eyeshadow palettes, including the Gilded Desires palette, I have noticed that Milani's eyeshadows they're pretty messy, unfortunately. I'm not sure that I feel like they have the same quality as the original eyeshadows that I used in high school. But then again, my standards were probably a lot lower in high school, but I still feel like I came up with some decent looks with this. And I will say, for the price of $10, and this will last a very long time, I feel like this is a good palette you can buy just as a go-to for work and just when you need to create those natural looks. So here is the new Gilded Desires palette. This is the outside packaging, really pretty. It reminds me of Tarte packaging, like this like hard plastic, but at the same time like it looks pretty fancy. So on the inside, this is what we have. And whenever I was doing research on this palette, I was pretty disappointed when I saw the palette was made in Taiwan. Just because you know those manufacturing facilities over there, they just don't have as high standards. I don't know, I just feel like there aren't as many rules. I feel like the products are made faster, the quality isn't there as much. So that's kind of a big disappointment for me, but thankfully it does have a 4.5 star rating, so customers are enjoying this product. It is $19.99, so it's definitely on the more expensive side for Milani. So an FYI, this is only being sold at Ulta, so if you decide you want this palette, go ahead and check it out on the Ulta website or run into the store. So here are the shades swatched from this palette. The metallics are definitely gorgeous in this palette, but what I found was the mattes came out a little patchy and didn't blend very well. And then these two are the face highlighter shades in the palette. So the first thing I want to say about these shades in here is they are very creamy and buttery, and honestly, it doesn't really look like it now. When you first buy it, the individual pans almost look like they have like ripples in it, like the product was just like poured into these pans. It looked so creamy and delicious. It looked really nice. Now I'm going to be a little mean to this palette. This palette is extremely messy. That natural eyeshadow palette I showed you before this one had some fallout, but this one is just, it's pretty bad. The metallic shades are super pigmented and they look really pretty, but man, whenever you put them on your lid, there's just glitter fallout everywhere. And then trying to blend the shadows together is a real struggle as well. I just feel like at the end of my looks I created with this palette, I just felt like it didn't look put together very well and it came across as kind of messy. So I'm going to first go in with this creamy shade up here. It's just a nice base for the eyeshadow look. This was a really nice creamy but matte formula. This is probably my favorite shade in the whole palette. And you know what guys, before I forget, I need to put some loose powder on my cheekbones to keep any fallout from permanently damaging this look. Next, I'm going to use this shade right here to create a crease. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's going on kind of patchy. Like I mentioned when I swatched these for you guys, it is a little bit patchy with the mattes. But if you work at it hard enough, you can kind of get it blended out and make it look nice. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here and cover half of my lid, starting from the inner corner. I feel like these shadows are pleasing me a little more than they have in the past. Then I'm going to place this shade on the other half of my lid to the outer corner. I just feel like I can never get these shades to look good together. I just feel like I don't like the looks I create with this palette, as horrible as that sounds. Like, I just feel like you can't really tell a difference between these two shades. Like, I don't know. Next, I'll be taking this darker brown and deepening up the outer corner. And I feel like because there are like some reds in here, I want to take this shade right here and also work it in the outer corner. That's making it look a little more just like romantic and feminine, mysterious. And then I'm just going to take this white down here and just work it into the inner corner there to brighten up this look a little bit. So you guys can see there definitely was some fallout, like I explained, that I run into in this palette. So now that I'm going to be working on my lower lid, I'm going to go ahead and sweep this away. So I'm going to take the shade we used for our crease, this shade right here, and work it on my lower lid. And if you don't put any shadow on your lower lid, you should really start working that into your routine. I really feel like that makes such a big difference in your eyeshadow look. And then lastly, taking some of that rose gold and putting right here. So I'm going to go ahead and recreate this look over here, and I'll be right back so we can do liner and lashes. I didn't have any eyeliner or mascara by Milani, so I went ahead and applied it off camera as well, and I wanted to show you guys an up close look at my eye look. Now that we've finally completed the eyeshadow look, I actually have 4 lip products I bought from Milani. The first lip product is a lipstick, and it's called the Color Statement Matte Lipstick, and I got this in the shade Matte Darling. These retail for $5.99, and they currently have a 4.5 star rating. So here's the shade that I got. It's a very girly pink shade. And honestly, the shade looks so pretty swatched, but whenever I was wearing it on my lips to work, I just felt like it looked bad. I don't know why. Besides me not being a huge fan of this shade, what I can say about the formula are very positive things. The formula is definitely a creamy matte. It's not extremely dry like some of the lip creams you wear, so your lips don't feel like it's extremely dehydrated and dry and crackly. Never felt to the point where it was uncomfortable wearing it during work. And what was great too is that it lasted until like my lunch break. There's still like a decent amount of color. The color stays really well. The one thing though, because it's not like extremely drying and matte, it can be a little transferable, like whenever you're like drinking off of a cup. You do leave a little bit of a lip print on that, but honestly, I am fine with making that sacrifice as long as my lips aren't like crackling dry from an extremely matte type of formula. And so I will rate this matte lipstick an 8. Not a huge fan of the shade, but I really like the formula. Next is the Stellar Lights Holographic Lip Gloss. Lip gloss has been really in this season, so I definitely wanted to buy just a plain lip gloss, and this gloss is extremely pretty. I got the shade Opalescent, just the basic. I didn't get anything with any type of color in it, so I could put it over lipsticks or even wear it by itself. Disappointingly, this was also made in Taiwan. I don't know why they have a few products made in Taiwan when mostly everything is made in the USA except for a few that's also made in Italy. But either way, this has a 4.5 star rating, and I can see why. So I have it swatched on my hand there. It has a slightly pearly metallic shade with tiny pieces of pink glitter. It smells like coconut too, so it's a very beachy smelling lip gloss. The only negative is it gets a little tacky when worn. Probably over an hour my lips just felt like they're sticking together. It's kind of like a tacky product. But overall I do feel like it is a really pretty lip gloss. I give this guy a 6. The next product comes from the Amore Matte Metallic Lip Cream collection. I thought it was really interesting the fact it's a metallic and it dries to matte, so I definitely want to try one of these lip creams. I got the shade Chromatic Addict, and these are $9. Unfortunately, they're rated a 3.5 star, but they are made in the USA. So the best thing about this product right off the bat is it smells freaking good. Like, I wish I had a candle in this scent. It smells like vanilla cake batter. So there is that one swatched. It is kind of like a coppery look, but when the light hits it, it almost gives like more of like an ivory sheen. So it does look extremely bold when you wear it out in public. So I'm not sure how much wear I'll get out of this product. With that said, there is a very negative point about this lip cream, hence the reason it has a 3.5 star rating. It is extremely drying to the lips. I mean, not only does it feel uncomfortable, but it will actually start like flaking off your lips if you don't have super exfoliated lips beforehand. The last lip product is fairly new. It's called the Hypnotic Lights Lip Topper. I will say this was kind of annoying, the packaging on this. It had this sticky plastic all over it. You can't really see it that much, but it is there, trust me. And I cannot get it to come off. Anyways, guys, I got shade Luster Light. These do retail for $11. They currently have a 4-star rating, and they are made in the USA. Okay, and there is the last lip swatch. You can see it's pretty opaque, so it doesn't have to be worn as a lip topper. It can definitely be applied by itself. I'm not sure if you can see in the swatch, but this actually has some pink and some lime green glitter in it. And I rate this guy a 7. So to finish this look, I do want to pick out what lip color I'd like to wear with this. I feel like since we're doing kind of like a warm, sultry, like feminine look with this, I definitely don't want to use a lipstick because it is more of like a girly pink shade. I think what I decided on this brownish shade with like a hint of red in it by Anastasia. It's called Sepia. I'm going to do that, but then I'm going to go ahead and put this lip topper over top. Okay guys, so that is a wrap. I feel like I haven't done a full face tutorial for you guys in a long time, so I'm sorry if the camera views weren't always perfect. Let me know if there's any improvements I can make when filming a tutorial for you guys so that you can maybe see it better, if I can explain it better, whatever you guys think, just let me know. I appreciate the feedback. My overall thoughts for Milani is I feel like they have a lot of unique content, and I'm always going to be checking their brand to see what new things are coming out with. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun hanging out with you guys, and I guess I'll catch you on my next one. See you later.